News at 5.
Now at 5, new documents in a major case of a Midland girl who was killed. You may remember Madeline Pantoja. She was 20 years old when she was found dead exactly 1 year ago. Her boyfriend has been charged with her murder and is now asking for a change in venue. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm Madeline Dunn. We break down those new documents for you tonight as her family continues to seek justice 1 year after her death. Tonight, we break down everything we know based off recently obtained court documents, witness statements, and jail records.
May 9th, 2023, 11 p.m.
Madeline's friends said she dropped Madeline off at her home, Palladium Museum Place Apartments in Midland. That would be the last time they see her.
May 10th, 8:30 p.m.
Madeline's then ex-boyfriend, 24-year-old Mario Juan Chacon Jr., called Madeline's brother and said he and Madeline had an argument and that she wasn't returning his calls.
8:35 p.m.
Madeline's brother said he spoke with her in a phone call and said she sounded upset because of an argument with Chacon.
8:37 p.m.
Madeline's brother sends another text. This one goes unanswered.
9:31 p.m.
Madeline texted her friend to confirm plans to meet at her apartment the next day for a day at the pool. This would be the last time they heard from her.
May 11th, just before 2 a.m.
Security footage picks up Chacon's truck near Madeline's apartment complex.
3:22 a.m.
Police cameras pick up his truck again in the area of South County Road 1160. This footage confirms police's suspicion. Chacon drove from his home to her apartment complex and back to his home.
6 p.m. the same day.
Madeline's friends arrive at her apartment home to meet for that pool day. With dozens of unanswered phone calls and texts, friends inspected her apartment.
8 p.m.
More friends show up, worried about Madeline. They call her brother, concerned.
9:20 p.m.
Friends call Chacon. He calls back minutes later, saying he has witnesses who will confirm that he's been at his house all day. 2 minutes later, Madeline's brother said he called Chacon to ask if he'd heard from Madeline. Chacon reiterated that he never left his home. Around 11 p.m., the apartment complex manager lets Madeline's brother and her two friends into her apartment. They found Pantoja's phone, purse, and keys, but not her. Madeline's dog was also left without food and water, something friends say she'd never do. They also noticed something odd. The woman's coffee table was missing.
We finally got into her apartment and her keys were in there, but the door was locked and he was the only other person that had a key.
They heard things, they heard arguments, not just on her floor, but they heard arguments at that point outside again.
At 11:02 p.m.
A Midland police officer is dispatched to that apartment complex in an attempt to check on the woman. When officers got there at 11:13 p.m., they spoke with Madeline's brother. He said that Chacon also lived in that apartment with Madeline and has a key. As the officers continue their investigation, they find enough evidence of a crime in her apartment to call a detective. Officers also talked to neighbors who said they heard screaming from her apartment the night before.
May 12th.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is an ongoing investigation.
Just after midnight, Chacon gives a voluntary interview and says that the last time he saw Madeline was May 9th and that his last contact with her was the night of the 10th.
10:50 a.m.
Midland police return to Madeline's apartment and find more discerning evidence. A hole running through 2 doors with hair attached to the damage and a blood-stained sheet.
5:45 p.m.
Chacon is again interviewed at the police station, saying he forgot to mention that he went and had drinks with his cousin, who lives in the same apartment complex. In the days that followed, friends and family continued their search for Madeline.
We are here for you. We will always be here for you. And no matter what, we will keep trying.
There's so many people looking for you. There's so many people that just want you back. You're not alone. And we're not going to stop looking for you until we have a response.
We will find you. You deserve to be home. You deserve to be found. You deserve love and everything good. And I just want you to know that we won't give up.
May 18th.
Midland PD continues to investigate. Shakan is interviewed again, and the police tell him that they found some inconsistencies in his timeline. Shakan immediately ends the interview and refuses a polygraph. That night, around 9 p.m., more than 200 people rallied outside MPD, calling for her safe return and demanding answers from police.
May 19th.
Midland police call a press conference.
The execution of over 1 dozen search warrants related to both tangible property and technological data. Interview of approximately 25 individuals thus far. Follow-up investigation of approximately 20 tips derived from Crime Stoppers, as well as call-ins to the Midland Police Department. That should evidence suggest foul play, criminal enforcement actions will be taken without delay.
Police say they were searching near Shakan's home, approximately 60 square miles of remote property using teams, drones, and helicopters.
It is paramount that we continue in our work. We have men and women out 24 hours a day conducting methodical searches, search warrants, and the gathering of evidence related to Ms. Pantoja's disappearance.
The next day, detectives received Shakan's phone records from AT&T, mapping out the area he traveled, which matched where Pantoja went missing. The geolocation records reportedly showed Shakan's phone within a 1-mile area around East County Road 190 and South County Road 1138. During a search of that area, investigators found Pantoja's body. Police reportedly identified her by the jewelry she was wearing. A source close to the investigation said Pantoja was found lying in the coffee table that had gone missing from her apartment. Her body was taken to Dallas for an autopsy. Shakan was taken into custody and charged with murder the same day. He is still behind bars today on a $3 million bond. One day after that, a funeral for Madeline was held. No one in this case has been found guilty. This is a story we're going to continue to follow right here on ABC Big 2 News, and be sure to tune in tonight at 6 for that. And you can read all the documents in full right now on yourbasin.com.